Hey everyone, it's me, Patchtan Bogad. Today I thought that it would be a very good video. Obviously, we're all under quarantine, not regardless, but depending on the area where you're at, you're under quarantine due to the coronavirus, and I hope all is well for those who are listening, and I hope things continue to be well, and you know condolences for those who actually lost those because of the virus and so forth. Really, honestly, it's very difficult to explain such a thought to express it because it's what's going on, and it's real and it's happening. So I hope all is well, and I really do mean that. Now, I thought that I could make this video by helping not just you guys listening, but myself to understand that when we put our trust, our knowledge into people that claim that they are there to assist us, to help us in our spiritual path, I want to first put this out there that we first want to be that individual that we're able to establish a link. And what I mean by a link is hopefully this person resonates with you. And the reason why I say that is because I could always go back to my past as being a Christian at the time, where I didn't really put one and one together, where, you know, fundamentally speaking, not all Christians, but fundamentally, Christians tend to pound or to pounce on those who are vulnerable. Because I was weak, just lost my mom and my dad, and these spiritual people that were supposed to assist me, they did more damage than good. But of course, as being a kid, I didn't really have the opportunity to really decide or make an adult decision, even though the decision was myself to basically go into that religion. It's just one of my many hangups with my fundamental background as a Christian in the past. And one hangup is simply this: if this God was so all wise and all powerful, first of all, why would he come to me when I'm at that age? Why not come to me where I'm at now, where I could really articulate what's right and wrong for me? Not based off of the fact that I lost my mom and my dad. Because, of course, someone is going to make that type of choice. Because if you're offering heaven, you're offering some sort of resurrection, and you're able to see them again, I mean, what other decision a young 10-year-old kid is going to make? You know? You're dealing with a particular age where the person's very impressionable. And we can still argue, hey, look, it's because he's just trying to help, and that is just how God does things. Whatever the reasoning is, I just put my 2 cents in and go. An all-wise God would actually communicate with someone where they're able to articulate certain things, not go through about a good 10 years of what is told to them to be true, and then to only find out it's not true. It's like if you already knew that I wasn't really with you and you knew the future, then you would know already that I never really was supposed to be there with you. You get my understanding? Either the person believes in predestination, God has a plan, or whatever apologetic acrobatics, whatever, let's say, mental gymnastics you want to defend God, that to me is not acceptable. It's just mental gymnastics at best, and that's why what I'm saying is, when I think about that time being a Christian, of course it was good times as well as bad, but we're not gonna get into that. I'm simply want to hone in on a point. When you find yourself in a predicament where, again, something resonates with you, does it resonate with you because, as you look at the picture as a whole, right? does it really benefit you in the long term? Think about it. I'm not saying it's not, possible, but a 10-year version of myself, it's just not possible for me to actually think about my future so far in ahead and think, is this going to benefit me in the long run? Because all a 10-year-old boy is going to think about is, well, I just want to see my mom and dad again. So again, I repeat, when you think about those spiritual leaders, when you think about someone who is helping you to understand either it's a right hand path religion, or more strikingly so, here on the left hand path, does the individual resonate with you? Are they able to give you methods that could spring forth results? You know, when I was coming into the left hand path, I'm just going to hint on it, touch on it just a little bit. I started out as a JOS member. That's a Joy of Satan member. And the magic system that they have is phenomenal. It works for me. Most of the stuff that I speak about is based off of that magic system. But as time went on, I moved away and I became more independent. But regardless of the drama that the JOS group had undertaken throughout the many years, I still was able to benefit from what Maxine had to teach those of that particular group. And it's okay with me to share that with you because I still feel that she is a phenomenal teacher. I don't agree with everything that has been said to me then and even now, but nonetheless, it worked out fine for me. And the reason being is that being on the left hand path, being with Satan, I've never met someone so unique and beautiful as Satan. And the reason being is that when I think about how I'm able to compare and contrast, not confirmation bias, not equivocation fallacies, no, but to compare and contrast myself now and to compare to where I came from in Christianity, it's a stark difference. And no, I'm not advocating some duality, us versus them. But what I am saying is that it's interesting that coming into the left hand path, I never thought one day I would say that I would receive imperial evidence. And what that simply means, long story short, without trying to define it, it simply means like a group of individuals, usually scholars, they're able to look at that particular evidence, they all agree upon it, and that is something that universally is accepted because all these scholarly individuals, they've done their test, hence it's called imperial evidence, and therefore people usually go by that. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. In fact, there's nothing wrong with it at all, especially in the usage that I'm using right now when it comes to Satan. Because for Satan to physically manifest himself to me or to you or any of the demons that you're working with, that's phenomenal. Not only does it show that he cares about your well-being and he cares about you getting imperial evidence, facts that could help you to distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad, where you've come from, especially if it's a religious background like myself that is very fundamental, that's very traditional, very cult-like, and you're able to tell the difference between, okay, I was like going batshit crazy, either I never acknowledged it or not. Why? Because I've been following a lot of dogma that wasn't really good for me. So that's why this video is really about picking and choosing those who resonate with you and look at it in a long term, effect on you. Is it going to really benefit you? As the left hand path, it works for me. That's why I'm able to make these videos because I want it to work for you as well. And I want all you to really take your time and scrounge up whatever information that you can so that you could be a better individual, a better black magician, a better occultist, someone that is able to look at what you're doing and base it off of good, effective methods not bad methods, meaning you do something and it's just going to backfire on you, or it backfires on you. This is me explaining it like it did for me in Christianity, that when I ask questions, you know how that goes, you're not even allowed to ask questions, because the minute you doubt, the minute you ask those questions, how dare you do that? And you're probably wondering, how is that even wrong by expressing a little bit of doubt? It's not like we're doubting in a negative notion, but in the proper notion. Meaning, if I don't understand something about this God being all knowing and he knows things before it happens, and if you base it off of the theology of Christianity and this world is the way it is, would that not mean like he's the causality of it? Because if he knew that it was going to end up this way, then why even create it to begin with? And if heaven is just so perfect and there's free will in heaven, then could he not create an earth, a planet that also has free will, and that is just has nothing to do with pain and misery? I mean, think about it. If he could do it there, how come he can't do it down here? According to someone that is supposedly all powerful and all knowing. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And that is what proper doubt does. It really leads you to a direction that when someone gives a sort of proper, well, not proper, but their position, right? If their position is helping you to appreciate that something is good for you, you have to question it. Just like if I were to do what I'm doing now by saying that the left hand path is good for me, all I can say for you is that you would have to experience it yourself. Because truth, if you claim something to be true, then you have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide by simply saying that Satan is good for you because he's good for me. Try it out. Do it in a safe manner, and you will get results. Truth has no reason to lie. So, I hope this information, though it's just part one of it, if you will, because there's more to it if you think about it. If you look at my other videos, it really does make sense when it comes to looking at why we do the things we do. And what that means is, if you're an individual that's seeking for truth, you're seeking for knowledge, and you're hungry for it, make sure you do it in the proper way using good methods. Because if I'm going to offer Satan to you, or any of the demonic, not only am I not going to give equivocation fallacies. No, I'm not going to even do that at all. Because if I say, like, for example, if I say that the left-hand path is dark, see, your question to me in a proper, doubtful way is, what do you mean by dark? Because don't you think that darkness has a multifaceted amount of terminologies? And what I call darkness is much different than what someone else will call darkness. So, what do you mean, Patched and Bogad, about darkness? Well, let me explain before I end this video. When I say darkness, you have to take it this way. Not darkness in the sense of what Hollywood points it out to be, like he's going to kill you if you fuck up, or he's going to come after you, kill your family, ask for sacrifices of your children, your cat, your dog. None of that. That's not what I mean. When I say darkness, is that you need to expect that once you become to a certain point where you are capable, you're showing the demons or the demons that you are doing more than okay. And what that means is you're doing your meditations, you're cleaning your chakras, and you're taking it seriously. Say there's going to be a time that your guardian demon is going to come to you, and they're going to say, you know what, you're ready. You're so ready that now it's time to make changes in your life. And how you go about those changes is the darkness that I'm speaking of. And that's really working with your shadow self. It's called shadow work. And that darkness is something that needs to be worked upon. not fixed, but you need to assimilate within it, envelop within it, because honestly speaking, that darkness is you. It's going to hurt you because making those changes, going up that river of blood, hearing all that screeching, the screaming of people that you have hurt, all the insecurities that is surrounding you, it takes a very strong individual to walk up that river of blood continuously and dealing with all that BS all around you while trying to become strong. Because it is true, those who make it are very, very strong. And let me be very specific. Just because you have your doubts, just because you may cry because it hurts, it does not make you weak. It makes you human. Weakness to the fullest is simply subscribing to the idea that this is not for me and I don't want it by looking at the first signs of trouble and running away, or because you didn't get what you want and you run away. See, that to me is what I consider weakness, because not only did you not give Satan, you did not give him the opportunity to teach you about yourself so you could assimilate within your darkness, because you need to face it. It hurts, yes, but it's not the demon that is hurting you. It's really yourself. It's your shadow self. It's negative, and you need to assimilate with it. You need to keep on pushing ahead so that you can better yourself. And that is what I mean by darkness, because you have to go through it. And the more you go through it, the more success you see, the more light you get, the more you're going to, see what you do for your ultimate good, to your betterment. Why? Well, because you see that Satan and the demons are using darkness not by the means of what Hollywood puts it out to be, or even what your notion is essentially of what darkness is, but the darkness that I am describing. So that's why, if we go back to the beginning of what I'm saying, make sure those who are trying to assist you in the left-hand path really do want to do that with your well-being in mind. You don't want to end up like that individual that just believes for the sake of believing and not believing based off of facts and evidence that's going to lead you to a greater truth. And that's what Satan offers. And again, as always, this channel is always to glorify Satan and his works and what he can do for you to help you to grow and to ascend. So please, if you have any questions, write down below in the comment section so I can help you. Send email to me. My email is always there and it is available. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get further information. Click that like button because it helps me out a lot. And as usual, hail Satan, I love you all. And again, stay safe when it comes to this coronavirus. See you soon.